Unfortunately, yeah, we did have a likely tornado move through the Van Buren area. I'm also checking one in western Sequoia County as well. Also saw quite a bit of rainfall as well across the region, so a couple of totals to share with you. About 8/10 of an inch in Fort Smith, 9/10 in Fayetteville, just about an inch in Poto, up to nearly an inch and a half in Rogers, and then about an inch in, we'll call it 2/10 at X and A. Across the board here, again, many of these blues popping up. Again, these are radar estimates, so not exact, but anywhere from about 3/4 of an inch to near an inch and a half, basically area wide. And what this does is set the ground to be really soft and saturated, and unfortunately with more possible severe weather coming, that could lead to more damage. Unfortunately, any winds that blow through could uproot those trees and power lines. We already saw a couple of trees be uprooted earlier. Right now, we're seeing that rain. The last of it is now moving past Scott County there, maybe a little bit passing through southern LaFleur County. But again, we are done with any severe weather for today. What we are going to watch, though, is the stationary front that's been kind of the guideline, the train track, so to speak, of where these storms are setting up. And unfortunately, it's only going to continue to move off to the north and to the west. So what does that mean for us? More warm air is going to funnel in. It feels sticky out there, right? It's going to get even warmer this afternoon. Those moisture returns are going to be back, and what that means is it's going to set up the event, unfortunately, for another chance of strong severe storms. So this is for late tonight into early tomorrow morning. The time frame for this is going to be even earlier, 2 a.m. to about 10 a.m., maybe a little bit earlier depending on how storms evolve. This time hail might be a little bit more likely, especially initially with storms, kind of closer to that the start of the time frame, I should say, because when storms initially develop, if they're by themselves, that hail threat's a little bit more likely. Winds could be 60 to 70 miles per hour, and unfortunately, yet again, could see, although it'd be brief, some tornadoes roll through the area. So let's step through the rest of today together. You're going to notice again that rain will move off to the south. We'll have maybe a little bit of sunshine later today. Now here's midnight. You see these cells start to pop off southwest of McAllister. Then here's 2 a.m. starts to move through the region there, and you can see possibly some damaging winds. You see that kind of line, maybe some hail, and again, those tornadoes. Continues through Saturday morning, and then by about 10 a.m. that moves through. And then I think besides maybe some scattered showers during the early afternoon hours, we're done with any severe weather after 10. And then for that first pitch at Baum-Walker Stadium, Saturday afternoon should be fine. We do have an additional chance Sunday evening, we'll call it, into the early night hours. I'm not as into this one as this morning as well as tomorrow morning, but we're going to show it to you anyway because the ingredients will be there for anything that does fire off Sunday evening. That could be severe. So let's show you here. We'll pick things back up. You notice that Saturday night, we'll see some development of storms south of I-40. We'll have to keep an eye on this. For now, I think it stays below severe criteria. You notice it there south of Poto and Waldron. Might be severe. So again, something we're keeping an eye on, but for now, I think it stays south of the area. During the day, Sunday, it's dry. Again, that first pitch, I think, for game 2 is at 2 o'clock. So I think that'll be okay, at least for the beginning of the game. But now here's 5 o'clock, and you're going to notice this kind of flow or this kind of bowing shape. This is indicative of maybe kind of some outflows, maybe some damaging wind gusts, as well as some large hail. This continues through Sunday evening, and then by about 10 o'clock, that wraps up. Again, I'm not as adamant about this risk as this morning and tomorrow morning, but it's something that certainly we're going to keep an eye on. So no weather impact alert, at least for Sunday, not yet. Saturday morning, though, I do think we'll be seeing that threat continue. Then on Monday, maybe a couple of scattered storms return. Tuesday and Wednesday are quiet, and maybe a chance of storms on Thursday. Again, rain is not expected all weekend. We'll have a break Saturday afternoon and evening, another break Sunday morning and afternoon. But again, it's just going to be a little bit more active, unfortunately, starting later tonight. Yeah, and as we've been covering this throughout the morning, viewers have been sending in photos. We'll take a look at some more of those right here. This is in Van Buren, and Ginger sent this in. We've been seeing a lot of tree damage. We heard Joe talking about that too. Power lines and trees. Yes, are a big thing. And one thing again to note, look at the soil there. It's very dark. It's very rich, which means again we've had a really wet May, a really wet start to June. So as we talked about, even with storms moving in tomorrow, unfortunately, those winds not going to take much for them to be uprooted. So again, just be mindful of that. Yeah, it just really shows the power of that storm too. All right, well, if you want to share photos or videos, you can send them to the number right there on your screen, 479-785-5000. Stay with us. We'll have more when we come back.